What's up, Hammer fan? Welcome back to HammeredHead. Today we're looking at the Rebel Soldier Echo Base battle gear from the vintage collection for The Empire Strikes Back. It's a bit of an older figure, but it is iconic. Definitely need a few of these guys for your Echo Base setup, so excited to get one of these guys in the collection. I got a decent Hoth collection going, and I have some like Hoth Rebel Soldiers, but I don't have the Echo Base Rebel Soldier, which is a pretty cool look. And I do like the orange that they went for the background there. VC68. Some other cool figs back here. There he is in a cool little action pose. Nice. But yeah, basic card back. Nothing too crazy going on, so let's open him up and see how he actually looks. Here we have him out of the box. I'm pretty happy with the way this guy looks. I think the uniform and coloring on him looks really good. One small complaint I do have are these goggles he comes with. If they come into focus. There we go. So these goggles are not attached to his hat. It is a separate accessory, which is pretty cool. But it's not like elastic or anything. This is just like a solid piece of plastic. So I don't really know how you would get these onto the figure, like to cover his eyes. So you can hold them if you really want, or you can plop them on his hat, but they're really loose up there and they're constantly falling off. It's kind of tough to get it to balance and look okay. So that's a little annoying. Could be worse, but at least we get them. That's pretty fun. The other accessory we get obviously is this blaster, which fits perfectly into his hand. He's got a really nice grip on it. And he gets this holster that it also fits really easily into. So that's great to see. But as for the figure himself, looks pretty good. Head sculpt is a little dated. Again, this is an older figure, so this little scarf thing hanging off his hat is sculpted a little tight onto his cheek over there. The paint's a little bit sloppy on the face, but could be worse. It's got decent facial features. Just looks a little, just not detailed in general. But he's got a cool antenna here. It's painted. He's got a nice painted white hat around the side of the face, and then it's like sort of an off-white on the actual top of it, which is cool. Great coloring on the vest here, which looks really awesome. Cool little rank badge. He's got some gauntlets that are painted silver, and then a little comlink device on his wrist, which looks nice. And then the pants are also sculpted pretty well. Again, I really like the coloring on these. He's got a few little pockets and stuff, nothing crazy. And then the boots are pretty simple, just black. Nothing really interesting for the sculpt there. So yeah, an older figure. Could probably do with an update for appearance, but I think he gets the job done. Get the f*** out of the way! Yeah, this dude really shows his age with the articulation. So he's got a ball head, which moves all right. Scarf gets a little bit in the way, but it's not too bad. And then the shoulders, this is as high up as they go. That's nuts. I think that's crazy work. Then the elbows also go, well, actually, they move pretty well. Elbows go about 90. Swivel wrists, but they swivel way up on the forearm. And then, oh god, I honestly can't even tell if that's a swivel waist or ball waist. I think it's a ball waist, but it's pretty hard to move. So we got the swivel hips too. That kind of make it tough to actually move the waist. Maybe that's a swivel waist. Either way, not a whole lot of articulation in the waist. Then we got these swivel hips. Ball knees go about 90. And then ball ankles that have pretty limited range of motion. So what this guy gets for appearance points, he loses in articulation. Again, it's a pretty old vintage collection figure, but we could probably do with an upgrade for that articulation. So that's it for the Rebel Soldier and Echo Base battle gear. Again, I like the way this guy looks, but I think he's definitely lagging behind in terms of articulation. He could use a little bit more detailing, but all in all, I think he's pretty good. I do like the uniform. And these guys are like super cheap still, so If you want him, or I think the 4-pack is out there and pretty cheap too. Pretty easy to army build these guys, and I think for the sake of just posing them around like an echo-based command center, it's good enough for that. So I'd recommend picking them up, but if you want to hold out for an upgrade, maybe we'll get a new one too. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you, my Patreon subscribers. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.